Good night. It is July 18, 2024, and it's a Thursday. Here in Sherbrooke, it's currently 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun today rose at 5:17 a.m. and it set at 8:29 p.m. That is 15 hours and 12 minutes of sunlight. The days are getting shorter. It was sunny today, a bit cloudy at times, but it's very windy. But it wasn't too hot. Right now, it being 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit is like, it's really not bad. Um, Today I had a bit of difficulty getting started. I ate breakfast, some blueberries and yogurt. Finally, I'm back to real Greek yogurt. It's fantastic. I was just feeling like frustrated. I woke up a bit hangry. I was just frustrated at my roommates for no reason. They were just living their life. I was getting my breakfast ready, and then my roommate went to like make himself some coffee, and he was using the sink when I wanted to use the sink to do some dishes. I was getting frustrated. I was just frustrated for no reason. And finally, while I was making lunch, like a late lunch, very late lunch, I got a call from my boss at a local music venue, and he was having some issues with the lighting, which is something that I know a lot about since I've spent a lot of time working on the lighting there. And so, he was alone and I had to do a sound check for a couple of bands, and he's like, I don't have time to try to figure out what's going on. Can you just please come over? And I did. That really motivated me. And so I ate, took a shower, got my sideboard ready because I went to play Magic the Gathering tonight. Um, so I got there, and it was not super complicated to fix, but it was something that like there's no way. I mean, for example, so we've got like a smart fade lighting console for all the traditional fixtures. It's all this stuff with like actual like lighting fixtures with like you know bulbs in them, and so and also we have like LED strips on top, like for the colored LEDs on the top and like in back, like on the back wall of the stage. It's all through a PC with a MIDI controller. But like anyway, he rented out the place yesterday, and so for example, for the smart fade, it was just one button that he wasn't on like the memory page. He's on the just like the direct like channel page. And then I mean, for the MIDI controller, it's a Novation Launch Control XL, and there's like different profiles. But you have to like hold. It doesn't matter. Like you have to hold like one of the pads, and then it lights up some LEDs on the bottom row, and there's like different profiles. Well, for some reason, somehow somebody had moved it to a profile. Because like I was in there and I was like in QLC Plus, the software we use, and like everything worked from the software, but like there was no MIDI signal coming in. Anyway, then I just like flashed. I'm like, oh, maybe it's on the wrong profile. But there's no way he would have known that because like I'm the one who set it up. Anyway, but it's cool because I was able to like update this troubleshooting document that we have. I haven't been working there that much over the past year because my life fell apart completely. But it was nice to go back there and be like, all right, I know stuff about what's going on here, and I can actually be helpful. And he was quite thankful because like he had a million other things to do. Then I went to play Magic, and I did 2-1. I won 2 out of the 3 games. First one was I'm playing Boros Prowess. It's like a mixture between Boros Burn and the other Prowess decks. So like, I'm running Slickshot Show Off and Dragon's Rage Channeler and Mishra's Bauble. And some Tar Fires. Like I had 1 Tar Fire from a box of bulk, and I felt like, okay, just like shock. You should play with fire, which a lot of people on the Boros Prowess lists use play with fire. But some very intelligent person on the internet was like, I'll just play Tarfire instead, because Tarfire has two card types. It's an instant and it's Kindred. So with Dragon's Rage Channeler, if you have four card types in your graveyard, then it gets Delirium, which makes it flying 3/3, and it has to attack every turn. So it's very good. So first game was against Merfolk, which is a good matchup for me, and I won. Second was against Ruby Storm. So first match I lost. Second one I won just because he was a really cool guy, and I was glad to play against him since I never played against Ruby Storm. But he was just not able to, and me either. Like, all my draws sucked, but it's just like he wasn't able to get anything done. And essentially, Ruby Storm is a deck where it's a combo deck where, like, for example, match number 3, he got me turn 2, turn 2 or 3 on his end, and he just destroyed me, right? So it's like, once this combo is going, then, I mean, for me, I don't really have any interaction. I'm playing like white and red, so I can't do anything really, except slow him down. And then the third one was against, I don't even know what it was, but it's against this guy who's like, he's not mean or anything. He's just very serious, and I get the feeling he doesn't like me. Like, maybe I'm just like, I'm probably projecting my insecurities, but I think like because I have no rapport with him, and he has rapport with other people, you know, I start thinking, like, there's something with me. Maybe he doesn't take me seriously because I play Burn, and that's not, like, a real deck. I don't know. Maybe we just don't know each other, but every single time I've played against him, he's just been, like, super, super focused and serious. Whereas with other people, you know, whether I win or lose, like, there are people where there's, like, a rapport of, like, making jokes and having a good time. And it's like, I don't know. He's not a mean guy. I just don't have any fun playing against him. It's just, like, very, very serious. And, I mean, and this is, like, you didn't do anything wrong, but, like, so, this is, I guess, sort of encapsulates my feelings. For example, before I was playing against Ruby Storm, and there's a lot of stuff to deal with, right? And so I was just doing stuff like I don't need to do based on the rules, like reminding my opponent, like, hey, you have this trigger for this thing, right? If I really, really desperately wanted to, like, if I were in a tournament or something, of course I wouldn't. It's my opponent's responsibility to take care of their own triggers, right? But sort of help out, like, hey, by the way, you have this, and the same thing, like, be like, hey, by the way, you had a trigger with that. So there's this card called Mishra's Bauble, which basically does stuff, but it also allows me to draw a card at my opponent's upkeep, which I had forgotten to do. And so when it was in my turn, I was like, oh, I forgot my trigger, and he said, you sure did. And then that was it. Like, all right, I mean, technically he's correct. I mean, if I miss my trigger. But, I don't know, it just shows, like, the different kind of thing where, like, other people I'm just joking around and be like, hey, by the way, like, didn't you have, like, a trigger there? Or, like, they think they lost more life than they did. Be like, no, this is what I attacked. You know, just, like, it's casual. It is a casual thing. Less casual than, like, Commander or something. Like, it's still, like, a competitive format, but it's still casual, right? And he just takes it really, really seriously, which is fine. But I just don't really have much fun. But I did win against him because he misplayed. And he seemed a little frustrated afterwards because, yeah, he would have won had he not misplayed. But guess what, dude? You fucking misplayed. You should have played that card, and then you would have won the game. And then you didn't do it, and then I beat you, and I don't know. It just seems to... I get the impression that he finds himself superior to me, at least within the context of Magic. And it's like, you fucked up, dude. It's not my fault. And so I felt... You know, I still said, like, hey, you know, you're right. You know, you fucked up, but, like... You would have gotten me. It happens sometimes, but in my mind, I was like, yeah. Because I don't think I've won against him before. He's a really good player. Anyway, so it was really fun. And then it was nice to work. It was nice to play Magic. And so today I'm going to talk about... I'm thinking about the song Frame by Eric's Trip. Just get my water. Give me a moment. which I'm surprised that I haven't talked about before. Because Eric Strip is one of my favorite bands, but it just sort of complicated the relationship. Because I must talk about the Tragically Hip, which I won't go into too much detail about that because they were my favorite band while I was in high school. I've seen them 3 times. Unfortunately, Gord Downey, the singer, he's one of the greatest inspirations to me for making music and singing. But anyway, in their song "Put It Off," which is the final track off of their 1996 album, Trouble at the Hen House. Let's see if it's correct. I haven't really been listening to them much in the past several years. 1996. That's right. My favorite Tragically Hip album. In the final song, "Put It Off," Gord Downey sings, "I played Love Terra by Eric Strip on the day that you were born." And so that got me to go to the Barnes & Noble in Mira Mesa, which is a neighborhood of San Diego, California. And I bought a copy of Love Terra, and it changed my life. It's really a masterpiece of 90s lo-fi indie rock. And they're just absolute legends. As far as, like alt-rock, indie rock in the 90s. And that album it's one of my favorites of all time. And Frame is my favorite song. Although it's not, it's the drummer, I think? Or no, the other guitarist? I forgot their names, I'm sorry. That is singing. It's not Rick White. Rick White, it's usually Rick White and Julie Doiron who are singing. Rick White, guitar, singing. Julie Doiron, bass, singing, and then forgot their names. But it's just a fantastic song. It's super catchy, it's super crunchy. They record everything on like a 4-track, and they had so they have 3 albums released on Sub Pop, and like they had some EPs before, some singles, and then a compilation and a live album that came out after. And then they reunited at some point in like the late 2000, I think like 2007 or something, for a few shows. But they, where he's been doing their own stuff. Julie Doiron and Rick White mainly. Rick White with his solo stuff under his own name, but also Elevator afterwards. And Julie Doiron mostly under her own name, but now she has a thing called Julie et Danny with Danny Placard, who's her boyfriend too, another good musician. But yeah, like I didn't want to get into it. I think I've talked about Julie Doiron before, and I met her twice. She was playing a show at Petite Boîte Noire, the venue that I was working at today. With Julie and Danny, and I was like, I sort of like fanboyed out a bit because she just put out an album, and she didn't seem super comfortable with that. I did their lighting, everything was fine. But then afterwards, like, I just went to her and I was like, "Look, you're really one of my favorite musicians, and like your music has really changed my life." And she seemed uncomfortable with that until I put on, while everyone was wrapping up, and I was like wrapping up the stage. I put on Swirlies, the album, the compilation, "What to Do About Them" by Swirlies, and she was like, "What? Who put this on?" I'm like, "I put it on." She's like, "Hey, you used to have this on cassette back in the 90s. And then we got to talk, and it was a great conversation. But then I saw her again because they came back. Because basically she was just in Benny Placard's band, but then they had their project together, and they came back, and I was just pissed drunk, and I talked to them, and I probably looked like a fucking fool. I was pissed drunk, and I regret that. But she was really nice, and she said that like an Eric Strip reunion is not off the table. She's still friends with all of them. And she did talk about sort of like meeting your heroes, and how she met like Steve Shelley, the drummer from Sonic Youth, and how she ended up working with him, and how she never would have imagined that she would have worked with fucking Steve Shelley, and she ended up being friends with him. don't know if they worked together, but like she ended up being friends with like this person that she admired so much, right? So I think that's probably pretty dead with just read the wall because I'm a fucking moron, but that's fine. So listen to Love Tarot by Eric Strip. Actually, all three of their records, Forever Again and Purple Blue. They're all fantastic. And yeah, so they have this disclaimer, like, not disclaimer, this thing like written on it, like in the notes, liner notes of their albums were like, every song was recorded on the day that it was written. Because you have this studio with a cassette 4-track, and they just like make songs and get them done. And I've done that a lot since then, and it's an exhilarating process. The fact that they just did that consistently for 3 records is quite impressive, but not. I mean, with such fantastic musicians, it's not surprising. Later tonight, at the end of the night, it's going to go down to 17 degrees Celsius, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. No chance of rain. And that's it. I don't know what I have planned for tomorrow. We'll see. I'm here. I'm alive. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Yesterday I did not go get a whistle dog. But I did go to the phone. I bought a pre-constructed commander deck, which cost me, cost me like $100 with the sleeves and everything, but it looks really fun, and the commander is like Mishra Eminent one, I believe, and all the cards have the old border, which is really cool. And I want to upgrade it, even with stuff that I have, but it's sort of tough because I don't want to break the old border theme. But we'll see. I have yet to try it out, but probably this weekend I'll be able to try it out. I'm scratching my psoriasis. I should not. All right, that's everything. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen here. I didn't look, but wherever you are, and especially if it's daytime when you watch this, I hope that what is above you consists of beautiful blue skies and golden sunshine all along the way. Everyone, have a great rest of your night.